Welcome everybody, my name is Naveen and today we're here at the wonderful SOS Village Children's Home in Pakistan, Lahore. And we have a very exciting guest with us today, Miss Saba Faisal, National Director based in Lahore, and we have some fantastic questions for her, ready to get to know this incredible organisation. So, let's kick off the ground first. So can you share some of the success stories you've seen that have taken place specifically in Lahore at SOS?
Well, Naveen, the thing is that for me, I believe every child is a success, no matter which background they're coming from. And when they gradually transient out of our system, I feel it's a success for us. But if you are looking for success stories, we have many success stories all over. I'm going to share with you a success story of this bright young man who entered our facility, one of our facilities projects in the north, and he, along with his 4 other siblings, and I'm talking about somebody who was a complete orphan. So both parents had died of natural causes. And from the get-go, the village director and the management thought that this child was special because he was very eager to learn, very keen, very enthusiastic, and always focusing on what he wanted to be in for his future. So when he graduated, he did his intermediate. He expressed a desire to enroll go into the army. So he took the exams and he was enrolled in the PMA long course at Kakul Academy, and he graduated from there, and he's now serving in the army, and he's a lieutenant captain right now. So that's one success story. Then we have another girl who also was admitted along with 4 other siblings, and she again was a very passionate young woman, wanted always to be a doctor, and lo and behold, she became a successful doctor and is now practicing in a hospital and specializing in children.
Oh, that's pretty beautiful. That's a wonderful story. So are you in touch with these children that do move on?
I'm sorry, we are in touch with these, all our boys and girls. In fact, we have annual reunions where whoever can make it comes back to their home village, and they share their life with the other siblings they had grown up with the project directors. So it's a really nice sort of a mingling time for them.
I like the fact that you have previous generations integrating and mingling with the younger generations.
That's true. In fact, many of them, when they have families, they bring their families along, their little kids. So it's a really nice time for them, reliving the good memories they had, and how they, what they gained from that facility.
Because it's really hard for you to see that really as a child when you're so young. But then when you see somebody come in thinking, wow, they had the same experience as me, they were given the same facilities that I have. Yes. Now it's my mindset, if I really put my motivation in the right places, to be where it is, and aspirations are really hard to develop in children.
It is quite hard, but I think the best thing about being in SOS villages is that there is a multitude of people who they are exposed to, meaning we have so many volunteers, dedicated volunteers who come and visit our facilities, our projects. They bring with them a lot of passion. And when they integrate with our children, they leave little memories in their minds, and I think that's where they drive their passion from.
That's so wonderful. That's really wonderful. So you've touched upon how a child may come in with some siblings, but the definition of an orphan can be so broad.
Yes.
Could you just go into a bit more detail about what are the criteria?
Yeah. Okay, so our admission criteria is obviously very simple in the way that we take a child between newborn to 10 years of age, and in case they come with siblings, the age is a bit relaxable, because especially for girls. Then obviously, without being said, a total orphan without any parent is welcomed in our facility. Then we also have a category where the father has passed away, and the mother has remarried, but is not able to take the child along in the new marriage because the stepfather might not be welcoming. Another category is where the mother has passed away, and the father is unable to take care of the children due to some illness or some other issue which he has and cannot take care. And the last category is also obviously where we do get sometimes off and on children from our the courts where the mother or the parents are incarcerated. And the court then requests our organization to take care of those children.
I love the fact that the organization is so proud to kind of consider the cultural implications that there are in this country. For example, a mother remarrying and it being difficult for a child to integrate into the new family. Because actually, if we just have one definition, we exclude a bunch of children's circumstances that are beyond their control.
That's right. So see, this case or this category we call social orphans, because due to whatever reason the parent or parents are unable to have them integrated into their new family, and I mean we feel that it's no fault of the children. They need to have a loving home, and due to which this admission criteria was opened. And in fact, most of our, I would say, children are coming, especially in Punjab, most of them are coming through that social orphan category where the mothers have remarried and the stepfather is not taking care of those children. So they do come along with their siblings. And one thing I want to make clear is that we encourage siblings and families to stay together. Yeah. So let's say if there is a family of 4 to 5 siblings, we have generally noticed that sometimes the extended family might not encourage the girls to come into this facility. They would rather have just the boys in, because they might want the girls to do housework in their homes and all that. But we put our foot down and we tell them that, listen, extended families, we tell the extended families that siblings stick together. Yeah. So this is how it is.
I think also if you take a child who's lost their natural parents then you separate them from their siblings, it's far more emotionally kind of unstable environment.
It is absolutely, and especially for that reason, even when they are admitted in our facilities, they are admitted in the same house. So they are not separated, because obviously the biggest trauma of being separated from your parent, if it's a social orphan, of course in the case of having no parent is different, but especially in the case when the child or the children know that they have a mother, but the mother is unable to take the child into the new family, there is a trauma and a baggage which is far beyond our imagination. And then above all, if we separate the siblings, because then there will be real, a big traumatic change in that child's life. So we do try to have the siblings together in the same house.
I think that's really just a very strategic way of approaching it as well.
Yes, of course.
Very strategic. So you've touched upon how some children may join the system with their siblings, which I actually completely agree with. Yes. But there's some children that will naturally integrate into the setting more comfortably than others.
Yes.
Are there any situations that it may be possible for these kids to integrate, or what are the things that are preempted by the organisation to make the transition for children as smooth and as sustainable as possible?
Yeah. So, integration or change for anyone is difficult to, perceive and to adjust to. And we are talking about these young children, boys and girls, who have come from, again, traumatic backgrounds, different fields, different areas, different backgrounds. So integration into a new system is hard. Like you just mentioned, some of them do it very quickly and there's no problem. But even within that set of siblings, there are a few which might have issues settling in. So I feel that the biggest issue we might have is of trust, you know, because it is hard for that child to trust anybody, because here was his whole life, which was just split up, and it's now he's into another new system, and he needs that reassurance and the comfort and the love which will build that trust. And I believe that they you know, what they do is that they have intense support from the family. They're being integrated into the mother of that, the head of household, who is a mother in our system. She plays the pivotal role. She drives that force where she embraces the child who is withdrawn. In fact, when we have our mothers training program, it's a structured curriculum where annually we have mothers coming in, and we sort of we teach them as per our mandated standard guidelines and all. The first thing we tell the mothers is just give them a hug and just embrace them. This, you know, the rest comes later, because they need to feel loved and needed in that house. So I think this is how it is. And also the elder siblings in that house play a very important role too, because they rally the children around them, and they give them the support also. So I feel this is how they slowly and gradually do integrate in the environment.
Okay, so you've touched upon the training program that the SOS mothers receive, and you've mentioned that you have a curricula for it. Could you go into detail in terms of how do you ensure the quality that every child receives an experience which is of a very high standard? Because that's quite hard for every mother to kind of give the same provision. Obviously, in some respects, they'll do it in their own way, but what's important to standardize for an SOS mother to give every child a similar experience with similar quality?
So basically, we have these curriculums, structured curriculums, sent by our international office. Obviously, we tailor make them and we modify them as per our cultural requirements. First and foremost, the language barrier. So we modify it, we translate it into our own mother tongue, which is Urdu. And basically, the curriculum touches upon all the aspects which are mandated for a good mother or a good standard of living. So what we do is we start off the curriculum or the training with what exactly SOS is all about, the basic philosophy of SOS, and how motherhood can change or mold a child from a little child into the young man or woman they're going to become. So it's a structured curriculum, and we take about 2 weeks time. Each day is separated into different modules. Then we have guest speakers. Let's say if it's a subject where we are teaching them child protection and child safeguarding, so we have many psychologists come in. And then obviously after their portion or after their talk, there is an interactive session where we want them to share with us what their problems are on the ground reality of what they are facing. And it would, you know, it's fascinating to know that obviously most of them are facing the same problems. And also we encourage them to share with each other how they have been able to overcome the problems which all of them are facing. Some of them have these unique ways. And like you touched upon, you know, everybody is given, or every mother is given a standard, you know, where they have to raise the children on. But every person's way of dealing with it is different, which is excellent because it brings individuality. And that is what we are looking for, basically.
Yeah, because everyone's approach will be so different. But you've just touched upon something really important, is that actually a child's life will change at different ages.
Of course.
What they'll experience. So Saba, you mentioned a really good point about how a mother will approach how she raises children in her own individual way. But similarly, children will change as they grow older. Yes. So how could you describe how how SOS accommodates the changes children have in terms of how does their living experience change and how do you guys accommodate for that?
Okay, so obviously when a child enters our facility, our home, they are placed into one house, and we culturally and religiously, when the boy especially reaches puberty, they are separated into a transient house, which is also within the facility. So they stay with us for about a year, and then they are integrated into our youth home, which is also adjacent facility along with the village. This is needed because, as you know, we are an Islamic country, so we feel that maybe it's not that it's not very comfortable for the boys and girls to live with each other at that time. So they are integrated out, and that's how one of the things which comes about, maybe that's a change into their lives. Then while they are growing up, obviously, they do get many counseling sessions. There is, and especially when the child or the boy or the girl, they reach the age where they have to decide about their careers. There is career counseling sessions going on. We have so many mentors who come, who are volunteers, who come every day almost, and take a group of young boys and girls and mentor them like that. So I feel every phase of the child's life is addressed upon. Obviously, when a child is young, they just need basics. But once they start growing older, there are different changes with the boys and the girls are going through, and this is also part of our curriculum where we tell them that how the change in their basic living and their mental stage, they will change like that, and the mother will have to mold herself as per their changes in their ages. That's how it is.
That's really lovely, and it's really nice to like kind of address that quite openly, that the mother knows that her duty per our child will change as a child grows older.
Definitely.
Because like you mentioned, what a child needs at the age of 5 is very different to what they need at the age of 11, or even at the age of 16, just the pending exams that they have is just quite stressful for a child. But in terms of the ultimate goal, we can obviously, there's so many different ways that children enter SOS Village and then they are raised, but then at the point they do depart. But what is the ultimate goal that you want for a child? If that's an educational setup where they are financially dependent, or if it's that they're having an emotional stable upbringing, is the relationship that they have with their mother? What is the ultimate goal for you for a child?
So Naveen, I'm a mother. I'm a mother of 2 wonderful boys. I think the ultimate goal of every mother would be to see their child or their children grow up to be a wholesome, kind-hearted, independent individual. And of course, in our case, we'd want all this to be there in our boys and girls, but also the financial independence where they can go out, integrate into the world, and make themselves into a better person, and have a successful life. They will eventually also have families, and we would rather that they become wonderful parents also. Something which they never got in their lives, maybe they can provide to their families.
That's lovely, and as you say, being someone who becomes at a point where they have their own children, we naturally follow our parents' own footsteps. Definitely. Or we try to think very, very different to what our parents did. How much do you think the SOS mother role enables the children to be more prepared as parents?
I think it's the integral part of their bringing up, because even in our households, we see that the whole house revolves around the mother. That's why in our SOS family, the concept of motherhood is very, very important. And I feel in our, in our environment, in our organization, SOS Mother plays a pivotal role. It's strange that how we say that mothers upbringing and the nature of how she is can make or break a child. This is how it is also. So I feel that the mother's role is very important. Of course, along with the role the siblings also play. So, you know, if the household is a loving household, eventually things will fall in place, and, you know, it will be a very smooth and, you know, easy process.
So this is a bit of an interesting question in the sense that many people who, the general public, see children who haven't got any natural parents as orphans go to an orphanage, whereas you've been quite clear from the very beginning that SOS isn't really an orphanage, it is a home.
Yes. So this is what our principle is on, that we provide a loving home for all the children who are in our care. And basically, you know, what it is that we give them the opportunity to grow up, you know, with and make happy memories in the place and in the home they are growing up. So this is what our whole principle is based on.
Thank you. Well, Sab, that was so interesting and so insightful. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
And we're going to have a little tour around the place.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.